name is Sandra Djwa, and I'm the author of Journey with No Maps, A Life of P.K. page. It's always a question how you write a biography. I myself prefer not to come in too much in the text as the biographer actively writing. I prefer to let the life carry itself. But in the case of P.K. Page, I met her in the 70s, April 1970. And I think that's the point at which I come in the text in the book itself. At first, I saw her rather briefly and occasionally, and I do report on that. But in the last decade of her life, I was working with her full-time, or at least quite regularly. And so the biographer comes in more often. I think, on the whole, I prefer to let the story go on in a rather impersonal way, with just the subject's voice coming through. And she has such a wonderful voice, the poet's voice, that in a way it's an impertinence to insert yourself. But at the end it was material, because we were talking about biography. The process of writing P.K. Page's biography was a difficult one. Her poems were not collected and dated. Her art was not collected and dated. Her fiction was all over the place, as indeed was her art. And in order to write the biography, I had to transcribe letters, transcribe journals, try to collect poems, try to see the actual paintings. As a result of it all, I joined forces with a fine bibliographer, Zelig Pollock, and later Dean Irving, another fine bibliographer, joined us, and editor. And we put together a project, the collected works of P.K. Page. So some of Page's diaries have now been edited, and they're coming out, and Pollock has produced a collected poems, and Irving and I are working on the collected letters. So the collected letters will be the next project, I suppose. I think book prizes are enormously important. First of all, they say that your peers have read and valued your work. And after a decade with a single subject, it's nice to hear that. They're important for another reason. Biography is a very expensive hobby, which is what it is for a retired professor. You have to make journeys, you have to interview people, you have to go different places and see different things, and it all costs money. Eventually, you end up paying for it, despite the good offices of grants, and for which I'm very grateful, and which have been very helpful with the P.K. Page project. But the other reason that a prize like the Charles Taylor Award is important is that it brings together serious books of a very different nature. I was thinking the other day of the 5 books that are finalists for the award. The story of the founding of the National Ballet, a book about art history, really, another book about religion and American politics, a book about physics, an important book about physics, my own book, which is a book about poetry and literary history and Canadian culture. All of these books show us the various areas in which Canadians are seriously engaging with serious topics. I don't know of any other prize that brings all of these areas to bear and then brings them to the public in such a way that people can recognize that these books are out there and can be read. At a time when the book publishing industry is having considerable difficulty because of the new industrial revolution to the electronic age, I think this prize is very important.